Hello listeners and viewers, welcome back to another Let's Play. This is the CRT Microwave channel. This is me, James, and that is Adventure Game Fan number 8, back from another hiatus and another hopefully awesome Let's Play after the third attempt at trying to get Skype to work and Camtasia to work and Fraps to work, and oh my god, these things are a nightmare to choreograph over the internet. Hopefully we'll get this will be okay and I can demonstrate my pathetic skills at video games because I'm rubbish at these things. Yes, so this is Theme Hospital. We did try and do Theme Hospital Let's Play on Adventure Game Fan's channel, but I can't remember what the reason was. Did we just stop recording it? I can't remember.
Yeah, for some reason we couldn't.
We just never finished it.
Yeah, just couldn't find the time to when both of us were free, and yeah, it just happened. Life happened, I guess. But I'm really looking forward to continuing playing from the start, watching you play. Anyway, it is one of my absolutely favorite games of all time. So
Absolutely.
I'm really excited about this.
Yes.
Hopefully this time, we'll do it right.
Yes. I think we've figured out the audio problem from Papers, Please anyway, so we are improving.
Hopefully.
It's the commentaries I think we've got to sort out next. That's the next thing. Once we do more of these, we'll get better at them. But anyway, this is Theme Hospital. This you might look a little bit different to a lot of people remember it from years and years ago. This is because we're running it through a rather nifty program called Core 6TH, which is basically a nifty little bit of software which allows you to run the game on modern operating systems. You can run it on its own natively, but it doesn't work very well. I think like the colours don't come through very well, and all sorts of sound issues and stuff. So you know, like when old software just doesn't work on Windows 7 and 8 and stuff like that. So sometimes you need like additional help, and this is a really cool program which allows us to do that. And the cool thing is they've added a bunch of really cool stuff to the original game, including widescreen support, which was not in the original game, and a whole bunch of bug fixes as well excuse me, which is awesome. So this is 0.5. This is the new version. I think it's only been out a week, so it would be a good idea to start again anyway and see what nice fresh updates they've brought in. As far as I'm aware, I think most of the features are still in this. Most of the features have been brought back in. I know in previous versions, like the emergencies, for example, wasn't actually brought back in because they're still trying to fix the bugs. But I think they've brought those back in now, if I remember correctly. So hopefully this should be a mostly complete Theme Hospital Let's Play anyway. We're going to play on standard difficulty. I don't think I've ever played on harder difficulty, but I think medium is a good enough challenge to get through the game. I think I've got to level 8. And I think there's about 10 levels. I never actually got to the end, actually, so hopefully I might be able to get to the end.
I actually completed this game. I used to play it all the time as a kid when I was 7, 8, 9 years old, and I could never beat it. A friend of mine managed to do so, but she was, well, still is a few years older than me. And when I was in high school, I decided to give it another try and managed to beat it that time, which is just said a lot about the quality of this game, actually, that I wanted to play it again when I was 16 a few years later.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's one of those games where it does hold up really well. It's just a shame that for a long time a lot of people couldn't play it for ages when they brought in newer operating systems. But thanks to the Core 6TH guys, that it's actually now playable on modern operating system, which is awesome. It allows us to play it again. As long as you've got the copy of the game, or as long as a copy of the game somewhere, like you've got the original disc, or alternatively you can download it from goodoldgames.com. That's a cool plug there. You can download the program from there, and then you just download this nice program and you can play it. I prefer it to Theme Park, actually. I wasn't that great at Theme Park. It's just I couldn't get to grips with it. Even though it's a good game, I didn't enjoy it as much as the Theme Hospital. I think this seemed to be more of a tighter game to me. But I think a lot of people disagree with me on that. But I think it's I just think it's better, to be honest. I think it's something about it that I like. I keep coming back to it from time to time. I'm not the best at it, but I've certainly gotten better at it, like, you know, playing it constantly over and over again. What I used to do was just build a massive toilet there, and that was my hospital. That was it. As a kid, that's all I used to do. But I've quickly found out that's not a very good way to win the game, actually, because like you can't treat patients in toilets. Well, you could, I suppose, but it wouldn't be very sanitary. But there you go. The trick is you've got to try and make the most use of the space, and since this is level 1, you don't have to worry about it too much. I'll probably what I usually do. I'll put it on slower game speed just to. I suppose this is cheating, I suppose, but because it gives you time to build things. But that's what I usually do anyway. I slow it down. I don't like running out of time to open the hospital and having hardly any of my rooms built, so I usually slow it down. So I've built everything and then open the hospital on my own. So yes, you got to try and make the most use of the space, and that's not always an easy thing to do. And you quickly find out like that's probably a bit of a waste there, to be honest. I'll probably fill that in. It's been years since I've played this, so I'm probably going to be a bit rusty. I usually try and make the most of the space that I've got, but you quickly find out that your building skills are pretty subpar, and you get yourself into trouble, and you're having to buy more land, especially later levels.
This is just the first level. Yeah. It's pretty simple, but yeah, it gets tougher. It definitely does.
It does get tougher, definitely. And there's more rooms that you can build to treat, not customers, patients. Oh, that's working in retail too much for you. Customers must treat customers. That's the psychiatric. Oh no, yes, it would be a good thing to start stocking our hospital with decent doctors. That's usually a good thing. I usually do that first. I don't know why I didn't do it this time. Enjoys fart surfing. Is a perfectionist who doesn't give up. I like that. That's what I like. The humour, it's that Bullfrog humour.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool about it. Basically, this green bar means the ability. So the higher the bar, the better the doctor is. And usually, like the junior doctors are always really crap.
They're really slow. Juniors move really slowly.
Yeah, it's really odd, isn't it? It's like because their ability level is also attached to how fast they can run, which is a odd mechanic, but. So basically, encourages you to try and get the ones with the best abilities. I don't usually pay attention to how much they cost, their salaries and stuff, because I don't usually find that too much of a problem until the very, very late game anyway, when you don't have an awful lot of money to play with. Only certain doctors can go in certain rooms, like the psychiatric. You'll need a doctor with this little book ability here, so that means only he can go in this room. But these are just standard doctors that can go in, like the standard rooms. So I might just get just a few decent doctors to start off with. Okay, now we need a ward. I always trip up on the ward. A lot of people do anyway, because you have to give yourself an awful lot of room for this one. Even though you can build that size, which is the smallest you can do, I usually do about that size because you want to affect few.
Yeah, you want to fit a few extra beds in there.
Yes, so because you only get one bed to start off with. I usually put about 4 in there. For bigger hospitals, you probably want about 5 or 6, even more.
Especially later in the game, yeah. Sorry.
And this is a really nice touch. How I've put those 3 beds together. You couldn't do that in the original game. You couldn't put them that close together before. That's a nice touch they've added in there. That's really cool. So you can put them close together now. That's a really cool feature. That's really cool. I might put one more bed in there, actually. I'll put it there. That's lovely. So that's 6 beds. That's more than plenty, I think.
For level 1, that's probably
I think you
excessive,
need a better tool here, but yeah, you can go overboard with it because it's a pretty simple level. But later on, you will need more beds when you get the operating theater, and because patients need to rest before going into surgery and after they go out. And I remember running out of beds on quite a few occasions, and ended up having to I had to build new wards, so that was not a smart decision.
Not ideal, is it? Yeah, you will find that out in later levels, definitely. Once the hospitals gets more and more crowded with patients, you'll need to. This is where spacing comes into play. I wouldn't recommend building a pharmacy that big on later levels because you can get away with just a simple small square. But I'm trying to make the use of the space, and like since this hospital is big enough for the default rooms on level 1, you can make them big and you have loads of space for patients. So you got a bit of room to play around with. I probably won't even need that bit of space down there, to be honest. I could build a toilet there. I don't think it really matters where you build the toilets because I don't think it affects any of the staff or anything. Like they don't get unhappy because I think that's a feature they could have put in the original game, but because it would make sense if you build a toilet, like if you build smaller rooms, the doctors and nurses become unhappier quicker. So if you build a toilet next to your office, you'd be pretty unhappy if they build a toilet next to your room. So, but it doesn't affect them, so it doesn't really matter where you put it, really. I'll just put it there. It doesn't need to be that big. I'll just put it there. That's plenty of space, and then maybe we'll just put a load of seating there in the corner, perhaps.
And
that's the
actually,
inflation.
the doctors and nurses don't have to use a toilet. It's just patients.
No, they don't. I find that really odd. Maybe I guess that was a balancing mechanic. Otherwise, if doctors kept going to the toilet, you'd probably make it a bit too difficult. But I don't know. Doesn't quite make sense though. I'll put a staff room there. That's plenty big enough, and it's close enough to the other. Then again, it's level 1. I'm jumping the gun a little bit here, but I don't really have to think about that too much. You can cheat if you want to have all the rooms on level 1, but it's kind of pointless, because even if you do that, the game very, very rarely only decides to spawn people that will use those rooms anyway, so you're kind of it's a waste of money. It's nice to see it though, but it's kind of pointless on like the early levels to do that. But it's nice that the option's there if you want to see the later rooms early on, but we can't see that.
Is that something they added here, or was it in the original?
That was in the original game, yeah. It was the cheats
really?
Yeah, they were in the original game, but not many people knew about it. I only experimented with it, but it's not really beneficial, to be honest, to really do that, because, as I said, you won't get any. I can still build a huge toilet.
Why not?
Yeah, well, why not, for tradition? It's ridiculous. Spend a huge amount of money on. Let's just have loads of these. Loads of these running. I think 20, 30. No, that'll be plenty, I think. A super huge toilet. Could probably spread them out a little bit as well. Doesn't matter, but. That's plenty. I'm not going to use the rest of those. So if you've got any outstanding inventory in the box just there, it will automatically just start it for you. Just start putting the doctors in there now. Again, we don't have to really worry about. I think that's everybody. Do you usually buy extra staff on level 1? I don't think it's really necessary, to be honest.
Maybe one extra doctor, but I don't think it's necessary.
No, on level 1 you're not going to worry too much. Put it back on normal speed. Is that everything? Have I built everything? Oh no, I haven't furnished anything, have I?
You should hire a handyman and a receptionist.
Oh yes, there's still quite a bit to do. Well, not much, but oh god, these are rubbish. That's what you get for leaving it too late. I guess I can wait until like April. Beginning of every month, that's ticking over down there. The staff refreshes. At least it does on level 1 anyway. I think on later levels, the staff don't always appear. So on later levels where it gives you more difficult, where you've only get like a certain amount of consultants and stuff, so there's more challenges to deal with.
You can always hire a junior and train him. We don't have that option yet. But it's like third or fourth
something
level
like that, yeah.
That's usually a good way to go. Hire some cheap doctors and then train them.
Yeah, even if they're terrible, like even with the ones with bad attitudes, like you have no choice on later levels. You have to hire the junior doctors and then train them up to become better doctors. So you might have noticed, well, I'll show you guys later on, where like some of them have got really terrible. Like if you look at their descriptions, like annoys customers and stuff, annoys patients, and is rude and abrasive and all that stuff. I just like that kind of stuff. It's really funny, and it's that trademark humour that Bullfrog were famous for. It's just a pity that Electronic Arts had to ruin everything.
Yeah.
By they bought out the company, and I think Bullfrog were defunct in like early 2000s or something after Theme Park World, something like that. And they did it with a lot of companies. EA did that all the time, to be honest. But they bought out a lot of companies, and they completely ruined a lot of the old properties, like they did with Dungeon Keeper. That was a pet peeve of mine. Like they turned it into a terrible tablet game where you have to pay money to get upgrades. It's just like, ugh, jeez. They completely ruined it. But Bullfrog was was a really cool developer back in the day, and so was Westwood. They made the Red Alert games. I was really fond of those.
Yeah, I liked it.
Because that was another company that EA bought out. Because that was when like they still do, but like it was like really late 90s when EA were buying out all sorts of companies, just like because they couldn't be bothered to make their own stuff for a while. I don't know. That's EA's way, I suppose. Right, so we've opened the hospital, and we don't really. You can take out a loan if you want to, but we don't really need to on level 1, really. We've fully equipped everything. And we don't really need to change the treatment charge or anything of the stuff, because we've only got like the basic bare bones treatment facilities and stuff like that. So that's I think that we're okay for now. See that's even scrolling into just to zoom into stuff is a really cool feature. That wasn't in the original game. I think what was I at before? This is the default rate. This is about the default the original game ran at. But now, with this cool feature, we can actually zoom in closer up, which is a nice touch. And we've actually got widescreen support, so it's just a lot of really cool features that they've added into the game to make it playable on modern systems without actually breaking the original game, which is really awesome. I really appreciate it. It's absolutely this program's free. Cortex is anyway, and to get it running, and off you go. It's fantastic. It's really easy. Just install the game. And install this afterwards and run it through this, and it's perfect. It's wonderful. I think I've only come across a couple of glitches in later levels, but I think they've probably patched those out by now. That was actually a good while ago now, actually. I think I'm going to speed up a little bit, put on max speed, because there's not much going on at the moment. So they go to the GP's office, they try and get diagnosed. He wasn't sure what the problem was, so she's going to the ward, go sleep in the bed for a bit. While the nurse works there.
I think it would be a good idea to get some more handymen, I think.
2, 3.
Get the ones that...
Yeah. They need to water plants and
about 3, that'll be plenty, I think.
stuff and fix broken machinery. That is really important. But we only have the inflator now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go. We've got our first fact machine. Your team has discovered new condition. It is TV personalities cause daytime television. Symptoms: delusions of being able to present a cookery show. A trained psychiatrist must convince the patient to sell their TV and buy a radio. Oh, it's just a lot. I really love these. These are fantastic. And this is the screen where you enter your codes, like your cheat codes. So like you punch the number. I can't remember the numbers, but you punch the
numbers in or something.
I used to press them,
and
just
then
to
you
hear
press
the sound.
The green button.
Yeah, but that's how you enter cheats. So that was a nice little Easter egg. So, oh, here's another one. Uncommon cold. Small particles of snot in the air. Runny nose, sneezing, and discoloured lungs. A big swig of uncommon cough medicine from special ingredients with a pharmacy will cure this. Wow, that's unpleasant. So it's a mixture of, like, real-life diseases with a bunch of, like, made-up diseases that don't exist. Like, the first funny one you will see is bloaty head. We'll show you how that works. It's really cool. Really, really funny.
No patients at the hospital.
No, these are a nightmare. These. Oh, he's
No.
Unbelievable. You vile. Ugh. See, these are always a nightmare. Okay, because invisibility is always the one that tends to be like not quite sure. Always tends to be a problematic one. So when diseases where like you're not entirely sure, the hospital is not able to 100% be certain what kind of disease they've got. It's a type of invisibility, but they don't know what type it is. You have to take a chance. 81% is very, very good. So what we can do is you can either send the patient home if you're not sure, take a chance, or wait to build more diagnosis rooms. But that's pretty pointless on level 1 because we've built everything and we can't research anything. So we'll take a chance. 81% solid. He threw up again, yeah, but he's picked it up.
Oh, great. Oh no!
81% and we killed him! What? On level 1! Wow, you can fail. It's like XCOM. Like, you know, you think I don't know whether you ever played XCOM or any of the new one.
No, not yet.
It's a really good game. I think you'll like it. But like, basically, you get like percentage chances to hit things. Like, you can easily get like a 91% chance to hit something, and then you click it, and then oh no, you've missed 91%. So it's like that. So there's a
yeah, but it also means you have like 9% to fail.
Yep.
So.
Ord Sang Si Kui, I can't pronounce that, I'm terrible. Once again, I cannot do foreign names. The Burmese Democratic Opposition leader has expressed a wish to visit hospital. So you get like VIPs from time to time coming to your hospital. Yeah, we'll invite him because our hospital's pretty spotless, to be honest. There's absolutely nothing gone wrong apart from that, you know, one that got killed. Out of spite, you could like, I suppose, sack the nurse or doctor that got it, but it's, you know, you can't really, as long as they're not tired, they tend to treat you know, cure patients the vast majority of the time. I think we were just really unlucky that time.
Yeah.
And I think it would be a good idea for us to prioritise how the handyman work. Ah, here we go. Bloaty head, sniffing cheese and drinking unpurified water. Oh, rainwater, not water. Very uncomfortable for the sufferer. The swollen head is popped and reinflated the correct PSI using a clever machine. So they put an air pump in there.
Probably my favorite type of patients.
Oh, psychiatric. Okay, I think it would be a good idea to get another psychiatrist. Poorly trained and feckless. Yay! What the hell is he? Is he a psychiatrist? We've only got one. Oh, I think the best one to just go this way. What's he doing in there? He needs to go in there. Any doctor can go in there. That's a real nightmare, that is, when that happens. You can tell doctors and nurses, you can set a policy. No, it's not that one, that's charts. You can set a policy where they don't leave the room. That might be a good idea, actually. But I wish there was more specific option where, like, certain speciality doctors would only go to certain rooms. I think because, like, they very often go into places where, like, normal doctors can go in, like GP's office, as it just happened there. And that was really annoying. Now we've got a huge queue because... it's really annoying. Why don't you sit on the bench? There's loads of benches and seating. Oh, that's annoying. Your team has discovered the new condition. It is the squids. Eating pizza found under the cooker. Wow. You can surely guess. A glutinous mix of stringy pharmaceutical chemicals solidify the patient's innards.
It's usually a good idea to build more GP's offices.
Yes, I think I'm going to do that, actually. That would be a good idea.
Although this is just first level, so you'll probably be fine with just one, but
yeah, it's
we'll
prudent to do that anyway, I think.
Can you zoom in?
He's leaving. They all look the same, regardless. The guy with the top hat.
I always thought they look kind of funny.
They always look exactly. He's thrown up again. Ooh, okay. Now, I think the rule. I think it would. What we're gonna we'll take out a small loan just to tide us over until we get some more patients. 88%. Yes, 88. Come on.
Oh yeah, invisibility again.
And I think I might slow the game down a bit, actually. Wage requests. Game speed normal. But normal seems a bit too slow to me, but max speed's a bit too quick, so there isn't a nice in-between. Now that's what I call a hospital. Your reputation in the community has been boosted, so they've got that. The VIP has like given us a reputation boost and a bit of money, so that's cool. 86% chance, take a chance, possible cure, and we can power that low now. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Now, as long as you're in the green for at least a month, I think the timer resets. I think if you're in the red for about 2 or 3 months, the game automatically gives you a game over, I believe. So, if I remember correctly, that's how the game used to work. I don't know whether they've changed it slightly in this rebuild, but
yeah, something like that.
It's a good idea to keep an eye on it nonetheless. Okay. Now, this is like, now once we've got everything sorted out, this is pretty standard stuff actually. So the hospital think at this point is pretty much self-automated. You can leave it and it will still do its own thing. And at the end of the year, once you get, I think we've already done the win criteria actually. We've already done it. It's far too cold. Actually, this is a feature that they haven't brought back in yet, where you've got competing hospitals, where they attract different amounts of people coming to your hospital, but they haven't brought that back in yet. What it used to be, there used to be like a chart there where like it determined like whether like all the hospitals in the area gained more patients than you did. So the better the reputation you've got, the more the patients you attract. So it's a good idea to keep that in the green if you can. But on level 1, it's pretty lenient. Even if you're into the red, it still lets you go to level 2, I believe. So I think you need 400 on level 1. Yeah, I don't think you really need to worry about it until like level 3 or 4, something like that. And I think patients are thrown up because I think it's a bit too cold. Let's turn up the heat a bit.
You can place a few radiators at the center because they walk around all the time.
That makes sense. But of course, the more money you spend on radiators, of course, it costs more money the more radiators you have, and if you crank up the heat, it costs more money to run them each month. So it's a good idea to keep an eye on that. And we haven't got research, of course. It's disabled for level 1. Attending psychiatry, please. Let's put it on. Oh, I can press the numbers. I keep forgetting that. 3 and 4 at the top. Just let it run on its own for a bit.
Oh, both nurses are in the staff room.
Oh dear. We should be okay, I think. Yeah, she's back in there already. Is there a queue there? Yes, there is a queue. Let's get another nurse.
Merry Christmas.
There we go. Now she's walking around now, annoyingly. Okay. High salary. Yeah, like none of these numbers matter or anything because like they're just at default because there's no 3 deaths. We killed 3 people on level 1. Wow. Okay, plus 18. This is where you get like all the awards and stuff. So if you keep things running smoothly, you get trophies. You get that by default, this one, because of course the other hospitals aren't in the game yet. So you get that by default every single time. We get a cash bonus, and for amount of soft drinks we sell, and most impeccable standards, high reputation, celebrity trophy.
You can also get these with black ribbons if you screw up too much.
Yes.
If you kill too many people or your staff isn't happy and stuff like that.
So you get, so we've already done the win criteria for this level. Dear James, jolly good, you've made an excellent progress at your hospital. We've found somewhere else for you to run if you fancy it. Yes, why And I think, if I remember correctly, that it was the case in... let's pause this for a moment anyway. Is it level 1? I don't want the game to move... Oh, yeah, it's P for pause. There we go. If I remember correctly, if you keep resetting the... keep declining the offer to go to a new hospital, it increases your salary. But I think in this one, they've patched it so the salary remains the same regardless, no matter how many times you decline it, which I think makes sense because it makes it a bit too easy if you keep declining the move to go to a newer hospital. So I don't quite see the point of it. I think when you get the win criteria, I think it just should take you to the new level straight away. It doesn't quite make sense for you to carry on, but there you go. You would want to progress, but there you go. I think that's it for part 1. Thank you very much for joining me. We'll see you guys next time.